The headline of this is simply, Umer, I do not think the FDA panel will recommend COVID boosters today. Take us through why not.
So not yet is, I think, the call. And here's why. If you look at the focus for FDA right now, by and far, they're focused on severe disease. And on severe disease, there is no evidence yet which suggests efficacy has waned below 80% or so. That's the key thing. Now, the single best evidence going against that is data coming out of Israel. But just the way FDA stacked up that Israel data, they're pairing it with the UK statistician who talks about confounders in the data, as well as majority of the members that will vote on this decision today. They're already leaning against from approving a booster just yet. To me, sounds like the totality doesn't favor it for now.
So if that's the case, and it's a not yet, it's a not today, a not yet scenario, at what point do you feel as though the data will be there or the balance will tip in favor of, hypothetically, a reason why people should or would get booster shots?
The single most important thing FDA is focused on is a U.S.-based study which suggests that vaccine efficacy against severe disease has faded to, I don't know, below 70, for example, but a material fade from where it's at right now. Until that happens, we're not going to get there. The question is, when should we realistically expect that to happen? And would it even happen at all? Well, Israeli data and the case numbers in Israel, it's hard to ignore that completely. I understand there's a lot of confounders and nuances in the data, the way it was handled, but it's hard to ignore the case numbers where they're at in Israel, along with the fact that Israel was vaccinated before everywhere else. So it does look like at some point an efficacy fade will warrant a booster approval. It's just not yet.
Umer, can you clarify what's happening in Israel? Is it, in other words, saying the case count is up because there aren't boosters, or I thought that there actually were boosters?
No, there's a fair amount of boosters now. In fact, one of the key points Israeli health ministry is explaining to FDA is, look at the decline in cases in the boosted versus unvaccinated. The problem is some of the data Israeli health ministry is showing is they're comparing unvaccinated. Thing we should be looking for is boosted versus no boosted, meaning they've taken the primary vaccination, just not a booster yet. And some of those data are still missing because they were still early in the whole process in Israel.
I just want to say a quick final question here. From the stock's point of view, obviously we're seeing Moderna trade down today. There's a lot at stake for the vaccine makers. Then if they don't go in favor of boosters, the names continue to trade down significantly?
No, I mean, look, I don't cover Moderna, but I'll speak to Pfizer. And here's my take. In general, are we lining up for an endemic virus which will require boosting at least annually or something like that? Most likely.